Sorry about that, y'all. I don't know what happened. We lost about 20 minutes worth of live stream there. I sent the invites out. I'm so sorry. Major bummer. Tim, you there?
Yeah, am I back? Got my camera turned the wrong way? There we go.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened. We just lost like 21 minutes.
Oh, the recording fell off?
The live stream just cut, and yeah.
Oh, damn. Well,
I guess it's a good thing we got redundancy and y'all did a podcast, but we can still, salvage the rest.
yeah, let's keep going. Is Jesse on, or did he fall off too?
Everyone fell off and it dropped. He's going to come back right now.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, y'all.
It's all right.
Welcome back.
What's the last thing you heard?
Well, I think we were kind of getting maybe midway into question number 5. I don't really remember. I kind of got flustered when it just dropped before my eyes.
Okay. Are we? Just let me know when we're back on. I'll list off some influences.
Yeah, let's start with some of the influences that have kind of followed you again from In Motion Collective to 2022. That cinematic sound that we've talked about. I just would like to know the influences behind it and what you are telling us with the music. What, as listeners, we should be considering when we're putting your records on.
Sure. Well, I made this whole list. It's like it's epic. And then I was telling it to Cheryl earlier, and she's like, "Oh, you forgot all your hip hop influences." So then I added those ones in as well. But let's start with David Axelrod, DJ Shadow, Isaac Hayes, Portishead. The Poets of Rhythm are a huge influence.
Yeah.
The Beastie Boys, Wu-Tang, Dan the Automator, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Jungle Fire, Monophonics, Orgone, the Budos Band, Manahan Street Band, Meters, Jimmy Smith, Jimmy McGriff, Grey Boy All-Stars. They're a big one. They're from San Diego.
Okay.
At one of our first reviews said that we sounded like a mix between Poets of Rhythm, Grey Boy All-Stars, and Daptone. I was like, well, that sounds like a great place to be to me.
Yeah.
Mulatu Astaki, Les McCann, Hampton Hawes, some funk stuff he did with Axelrod, Cannonball Adderley. I love his recordings. More recently, been getting into spiritual jazz, which kind of started after John Coltrane's Love Supreme. Miles Davis is In a Silent Way, which is like psychedelic modal jazz. The Black Jazz label, which is a bunch of spiritual jazz stuff that I'm really digging on right now. Chester Thompson, The Awakening. I got to give a shout out to Jason McGinnis, Mike Wallace, and Ricky Isabella, who are DJ and producer friends who turned me on to a lot of great music that's influenced me.
I know Mike Wallace. That's Henry
several years,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that man's got heavy crates.
Definitely, and he lives like a mile from me, so we've hung out a bunch.
That's dope. Okay,
we're friends.
We're friends. How about you, Jesse?
Well, Tim mentioned we got a lot of the same influences, but I think specifically with this album, I was like specifically influenced by that cinematic soul, some Isaac Hayes, and with the intent of, as far as like what a listener can get out of it, there's a lot of nuance in these lines. It's not just a line, like a melodic line that you kind of throw together and everyone's playing the same thing. Like there's some orchestration happening, and like I mentioned before, we had time to think while we were doing this, we had a lot of downtime. And so I was in my process, I was thinking, well, how can I do more with this style? Like, how can I dive deeper into it and extract a little bit more? And I think part of that is reflected in this final product here.
Absolutely. I'm going to just come forward and kind of ask, how much of a reference are the blaxploitation movies, the soundtracks, library records? I mean, I could close my eyes and I could feel like I'm Shaft sitting in a very long Cadillac. I can smell, the ashtrays in the car and everything when I'm listening to your music. Can you talk about that as a reference point, if it is at all?
I've definitely done the deep YouTube dives on blaxploitation, and I've seen probably 50 different ones just watching them at night over over a period of time. And it was funny that a lot of them were produced in the Philippines. My wife's Filipino American, and so there was a connection there. But yeah, yeah, great music. I mean, it was the music that really drove those films more so than the acting per se.
Yeah.
And the storyline,
Right.
but yeah, definitely an influence. Coffee is one that I think of.
Yeah.
Roy Ayers did the soundtrack for that. Of course, we covered Aragon on our last release. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved how, especially in that genre, the music really just like took you to a different place. It told the story a lot of times, and it went from you're going from at that time in the 70s, big soundtracks. You got composers still writing orchestras and all this stuff, and then here is this other genre that says no, like we need to incorporate the music of the people. Like we need to incorporate the music of the community in telling these stories, and so that's really one of my biggest takeaways as far as the music from that era is like they are combining so many different things, but really it comes down to the heart of it is giving back to the community and connecting with the community.
yeah, a lot of them feel like power to the people type productions.
That's a great point, and that's really, really powerful. Your sound is global and it's embraced far and wide, but it really originates in San Diego, California. That's where the influences are. Can you talk about, the geographical location and how it really has inspired, influenced, and empowered you to create the music that you do?
Sure. Obviously, big things in San Diego are Latino, Chicano culture and food. For me, surfing, hiking, the Gray Boy All Stars, DJ Gray Boy. These are all San Diego things that have influenced me over the years. How about you, Jesse?
I spent a lot of time in the Chicano neighborhoods, both San Diego and LA. San Diego is really unique musically in that it is pretty detached from LA, from the scene in LA. Even though it's only 2 hours away, it's not an easy 2 hour drive, right? A lot of people choose not to do it. And so what ends up happening is that you get a bunch of great musicians who are there together, and they're not forced, but kind of forced to make music together and to think of music in different ways, right?
Sure.
Because you can't just like draw from a bunch of other people. It's kind of a small niche group of musicians that all contribute, and then there's a lot more collaboration going on, and a lot more influence, right? So even like some of my local influences, I mean, we talked about Gray Boy, and I love Gray Boy and Carl Denson, Sign Universe, and all those groups, but also groups like the B-Side Players out of Chula Vista, those guys were a big influence on me when I first got to San Diego. I had no idea who they are, but they were creating this music that I immediately identify with. It was Chicano music. It was Chicano funk. It was Chicano reggae. It was Chicano, cumbias that I was like, oh, wow, I only ever heard this stuff that was on the radio. I've never heard it done this way.
Sure.
And so that,
I love
like part of that, like, led me to be able to do some mashups for Surefire, and we've even done like some Afro stuff and some like quasi cumbia kind of tracks, and there's a lot of influence going on.
That's beautiful. I got to
Yeah,
ask you quick. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I'll second B-Side Players. I saw them in '98 at the now defunct PB Block party, and I think seeing them play made me decide to stay in San Diego because everything about the performance was just so beautiful. The day, the music, the way that the crowd was reacting to their music, the way they reacted with the crowd, it was just had a lot of love. And I was like, you know what, San Diego seems like it's about love, so I'm gonna stay here.
That's awesome. I wanted to, speaking of B-sides and players and so on like that, I wanted to bring out this 45 real quick, because when I was doing my homework, I noticed this bad boy did not make the album. And I want to ask what the inspiration for this was. It's a beautiful song, but it's very different.
La Fachada.
Yes.
Well, it kind of got named after the fact because La Fachada is a legendary late night or even daytime taco spot with free beans. They've got these slow cooked on the outside barbecue on coals beans that just simmer in magic all day. And so that's the name. But I guess the influence, it's obviously got some kind of like Menahan street band type influence.
Yeah, I heard that.
And cinematic soul. It's definitely got that vibe. Hip hop influence. It feels like it could be Sample Us Please, RZA.
I love that. I love it. If y'all are ready, I would love to transition to show and tell. I believe you have some things to show us, talk about.
Yeah. I guess I'll go first. Let me see if I can figure out how to turn my phone around. I'm sitting in the control room of the studio, which is just an extra bedroom in my home.
Try not to press any buttons. Nah, don't press any buttons. I don't want to lose it again.
No button pushing?
Let's keep it low tech.
All right. Well, I've got my tape machine right here.
Okay.
The 388. It's got
the legendary 388. We know about that.
Yes, it's a very popular one in the culture here, and I've got my Voicings for Jazz keyboard book here, which is like your McCoy Tyner kind of vibe voicings. I've been using those a lot.
Okay.
This is the whirly that all the songs get written on, and also is now in the live rig. And I'm going to walk to the other room real fast because there was a request to see. This is kind of how our music video starts for Boardwalk Bump. Cheryl's running up to the other room.
I've seen y'all play in this room before.
Oh, yes. Yeah, this is where we rehearse and record. This is my Hammond A100, A102.
Wow.
Same thing as a B3, just in a different case.
That's a bad boy.
Yeah, the Leslie's over there. It's got the cover on it right now. I've got a Rhodes and a clavinet. It's not really coming in. This other whirly, which is awesome, 140B. And then there's a harpsichord under here, which made its debut on this new album. And that's special because DJ Greyboy gave it to me, and he kind of just hit me up out of the blue and was like, "Would you like this?" And then got to hang out a little bit. And he's a super cool guy, and hopefully I get to make some music with him someday. That'll be rad.
Very cool.
And I've got a vibraphone too, which is under here. So just imagine a vibraphone underneath there.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Tim, wait, where are your records? Tim, where do you put records? All I see is hardware.
Show them the collection, man. Show them the collection.
Oh, records? Okay. There's I got some records over here.
Hey, did you think you were going to be on Cribs?
Some of them are our records, but I've got records in other little cupboards too. So
okay.
am I going sideways? I see you going sideways.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
So there's some records. I've got like nothing crazy. Like I've got that, some first pressing meters, and like that one's full of records there, and over there that's full of records. Like I've got a Love Supreme mono, which is a nice one. I don't even know where I got it from. Just was in my collection. I know I didn't steal it, but I forgot what record store it came from. I've got most of the records that I'm influenced by pretty much for original pressings.
Okay.
Nice. Well, I I'm not gonna do a tour of my apartment because
That's
that
okay.
doesn't look as cool as that. I don't got all the gear, but I got a couple things that I think are kind of special, at
Okay.
least to me. This guy right here is always near and dear to my heart, and this is the 45 to Jesse's Jing, which is
Oh,
the very first vinyl I was ever on. I'm
very
honestly on,
special.
you know, it's super special to me, and I'm always gonna have this copy, and I think of it as like the very first entering into like the coal mine family, you know. And I didn't
That's
even
a
know.
bad boy
I
45.
didn't even know. Yeah.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
And then I got this guy, which is the late great
Lonnie.
Dr. Lonnie Smith. I got to see him live, and he signed my poster, and
Wow.
got to chat with him for a little bit. So amazing. I know you got the same one.
We were there. We were there together.
We were there. And that's always great. And then this guy, I'm always doing this on my page. Music business. You need to have the Music Business Bible right here.
Yep.
It's a book by Donald Passman, all about the music business, and it just lays it out so great. And I'm always advocating for musicians to empower themselves with knowledge. And this book gave me a whole lot of knowledge. I'm doing a graduate degree program right now in music business, and so I use this a lot.
Very cool.
Yeah, so those are. It's not as cool as Tim's record collection, but
No, you know
great
what?
so for me.
It's great stuff. Great stuff.
I'm really glad that you have that 45 to be able to show it so that everybody can see that. I have to ask a follow-up. What's something special about, when you met Dr. Lonnie?
It's really funny, man. I have this funny story, two funny stories actually of Dr. Smith. So the very first time I actually met him and saw him was at the NAMM show here in Anaheim years back, and he was at the Hammond Organ booth. It's a trade show, for those that don't know, it's a trade show for all sorts of music products companies. So they come and they show off their latest products, and you got a lot of musicians and buyers and all sorts of great stuff happening. And obviously, some of the top artists that are endorsed by these companies will come out and do demonstrations. And Dr. Smith was one of them for Hammond organs. And so he was doing this thing, and I was just right there watching him, and someone comes up to him and he goes, Dr. Smith, Stevie Wonder is in the booth across the way. Do you want to go say hello? And Dr. Smith goes, really? Stevie's over there? He goes, yeah. And he goes, man, he owed me $20. Kid you not. He literally said that. And I was rolling.
That's a trip.
Laughing. Man, and so that was the kind of guy that he was. He was so jovial, and he really had a lighthearted approach to life, but also you could tell he was just so serious about the music too. Like he reminds me a lot of Tim, of like Jake. It reminds me of Jake Nager. He's got these moments of like serious focus, and then he had moments of just like ecstatic joy, and you would see that in his shows. He'd be playing organ and he would just bust out laughing, and then sometimes he's just so into it. And
Definitely.
So that was my experience. That's what I remember the most about watching
cool.
Dr. Smith.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. How about you, Tim?
Dr. Lonnie, I got to see him a few times, that show with Jesse, and then we saw him in New Orleans down on Frenchman Street at Snug Harbor, cool little jazz venue down there. And I mean, he's just the legend. I only got to see him and McGriff that I remember as far as like the original legends. And like Jesse said, he's got a very lighthearted, kind soul, yet is super serious about the music. And when he signed my poster, I told him that I played a little bit too, and he wrote Organ Family on there. So I guess I'm in the crew. So that was good. And obviously, yeah, rest in peace, Dr. Lonnie Smith.
Very cool. All right, so we asked the community to submit questions, and we selected an audience member. So this is from the handle GetVinylJ. He would like to know, how do you choose the song titles for instrumental pieces? And I wanted to take it a step further. Is there a certain song title that has significant meaning and maybe a story behind it for each of you?
Well, I'd say that the names are a place where you can make a statement in the music without having lyrics, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or pay homage like we have with La Fachada or some of the neighborhoods in San Diego, City Heights, Sterling Adams,
Yeah.
IB Strutton, etc. A funny one that I remember was for the song Gandy's, which is on the new record here.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our buddy Omar, bassist Omar Lopez, and he had a dream that, you know, we started this crew, this posse, and it was called the Gandys, and
Like an
you know,
actual dream, like he
yeah,
dreamt it, and he told
while
us
we're
his dream.
yeah while we were doing a show out near Phoenix, so you know, it was in Arizona, it was real hot, so it might have been a heat dream, and you know, and so that name, it's just an inside joke with the band, but you know, it gives us a chance to have bonding and memories like that as well. You know, what do you
Sure.
think, Jesse?
I think you know, all of these are so indicative of our experiences. I was telling Tim, and like in preparing for the show right now, I went and like just kind of wrote down all the song titles from all of our albums and see if I could come up with some kind of pattern. And really, what I found was that just each album was exemplified a different period in for the band and the personnel, and all of it always ties into San Diego. There's always some kind of homage to San Diego or Southern California life. In our previous album, Build Bridges, we talk about El Nino, which, you know, if you're not from Southern California, you'd be like, what is El Nino? Like, why? And I mean, for us, it's like the apocalypse kind of storm going on, you know, like
Okay.
for people from Southern California, we know what those things are. And it's the same thing with Step Down. You know, like the track Boardwalk. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about a boardwalk, but I just felt like it was like the feeling of strutting on a boardwalk, you know. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna call it Boardwalk, right? Again, all this stuff is it just relates back to the band's experience at that time, which is so neat to see.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. All right, gents. We have one more question before the lightning round, and I would love it if you could kind of give us a lens into what it's like to be part of Coal Mine Records. Maybe there's a story of how you first, met Terry Cole. All your music's on the label. What does it mean to be on that roster? And when you think about the Coal Mine brand, what does that mean to you as well?
That's a big question. I like it. Terry Cole. I forget exactly when we met. We had recorded. I'd recorded some demos that went on to later be re-recorded for our first album. But I sent him those demos, and this was before I got the 388, so they were produced a little bit differently, and they were a little clean sounding. And he's like, I really dig these songs, but can we rough them up? And so and then I didn't hear from him for a while, and then I got the first band together, and we started recording tunes, and we released that first 45, and it was self-released. It was Laying Low and IB Strutton. And I had sent him those tracks, hoping that he would want to put them out, and I didn't hear back from him, so I just went ahead and self-released. But he ended up getting back to me like a year after I sent him the email, and he's like, "Oh, I don't use that email anymore, but I was just checking it because I was going to get rid of it." And I came across it. He's like, I really dig this. Can I put it out? And I was like, well, we self-released it, so it's already out, but we've got some other tracks. And then I sent him City Heights and Strolling Adams, and that's when it started right there.
Wow, that's really cool to hear. Man, wild that you had released one, and that's what he wanted. Though, that's what timing.
Yeah, it was funny and cool, and I think I heard about Coal Mine from the first Jungle Fire 45, and also around that same time I met Kelly Finnegan. I was playing in another group called Pocket, and we opened for Monophonics here at Winston's in town. Yep, and that's when my friendship and musical relationship with Kelly started was then, and I gave him a demo of, I think it was Laying Low and City Heights I had it on a CD, and I think I gave it to him at like sound check before the show, and then before the end of the night, might have even been before we went on, he like gave me feedback on it and told me that he dug it and I should send it to Terry.
Wow, wow,
So,
that is
so yeah, so that's kind of it. Coal Mine feels like family. Terry Cole, Autumn Barney. There's a whole list of other folks whose names should be dropped as well, but they're the two main ones who I deal with these days. And there's a lot of music I'm inspired by on that label, and it just feels great to be in such high esteemed company, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it. Just like great people, great music. Really grateful to be a part of it.
That's awesome. What about you, Jess?
Well, I remember as far as meeting Terry, it's been years. He did he came to San Diego and the West Coast and brought crates of vinyl that were like halfway melting. I remember he was saying, and it was so cool that I could obviously tell his passion for funk and for his label and getting that off the ground. And he was, slanging vinyl at LA swap meets or whatever. And
Really?
he was doing the thing. No, what was that, Tim? What was that event that we played at?
It was the
beat swap meet, right?
The beat swap meet. Yeah, the day before was my birthday, and he came to my birthday party and spent the night at my pad, and then the next day we went to LA and played at the beat swap meet. And he had his small car that he had driven out from Ohio, and he was like on tour by himself, going to record stores to like tell the stores about the label and the releases. He did it like
he did it himself.
Yeah, it was super grassroots before. I think he might have had some distribution. I think they had some Fat Beats distribution at that time, but he really stepped it up with that tour to just kind of get the word out there.
That's incredible, because he actually tells that story, from his seat. It was like last year when we brought Terry on. So that's really cool to hear your perspective on it.
Nice.
Yeah,
go ahead, sorry.
But I also want to add that, like Coal Mine and being Coal Mine artists, like you definitely feel that sense of family. I kind of counted it today, and I have like at least some performance credits with 6 different Coal Mine groups, along with just friends and like all sorts of other ones. It's so funny. I actually just saw Neil Francis in San Diego, and I had never actually met him or his band, and so I got to hang out with some of them. I was dope. I've met some of the homies from the Sinceres recently, being in LA, having moved to LA. So as soon as you mentioned that you're a Coal Mine artist, it's all of a sudden there's this sense of family that you get, and you're like, oh yeah, no, we're all doing the same thing. We're here in the funk community. We're doing it.
I love that. That's really cool insights. One of the things that Terry said when he was on here is that not every record is created equally. And when I think of Coal Mine Records, Plaid Room Records, the standard is set very high, from the snout and tip double gatefolds, Gotta Groove Records, the slip cover, and even the colored variants. What does that mean to you as artists when you're working so hard to put this music out, and then you see the final product as this premium top shelf record? What does that mean when you're holding that record in the hands for the first time?
Oh man, yeah, yeah, it feels great. The two gatefolds that we did, especially, were like, yeah, just super thick, and yeah, the everything, all the packaging was so incredible. Um, yeah, that one for sure.
You see how thick
Um,
that is? It's hurting my
yeah,
arm to hold it.
yeah, we didn't do the tip-ons for Step Down because it's so backed up right now.
Sure.
But it still came out great. All the packaging was done through Got a Groove, but
Yeah.
still super high quality.
Very cool. How about you, Jess? Any thoughts?
I just I love seeing the final product, and especially now with the lags, yeah, it's really a fun surprise because it's like, oh, it's finally out. Oh, we this thing that I hadn't really thought about for a couple months, like, oh, hey, this is a nice surprise.
Right,
Oh,
right.
I guess it's time to start promoting this. So no, but it's so rad to see it in the physical form, and especially on vinyl is so special. And my studies in the music industry have told me that vinyl is surpassing CD sales. Like everybody wants vinyl, and that's part of why things are backed up, because you have those big artists, even your top pop artists are trying to release their stuff on vinyl too now,
Hmm.
right? And that creates part of what's creating that backup. But yeah, just having the physical product, like, I mean, there's nothing like it, man. There's nothing like it.
Agree 100. Now, I love candy coated variants. How did y'all choose the fire red variant? Or was that your choice?
I think I've been picking a lot of colors because I'm doing All Town as well. So it's a little bit foggy how we came up with it. I think it was the email came through. What color do you want? And I was just thinking like, what color hadn't we done? And I think Autumn may have presented a couple choices. I can't remember if I sent it to the guys. Jesse, did I send it to you, or did I just pick it?
I think you just picked it, honestly.
And
And
and the,
then we're like, hey, this is what it's gonna look like. Cool.
yeah, it just looked like a great one. You can go on the Gotta Groove website, and they've got all the different colors that they've got up there. You can check them out. Someone's backing up.
Oh, no, it's just my living room. It's on fire. Don't worry about it. We'll finish at like 15. I'll get to it then.
But yeah, then there's the indie variant too, which was the label's idea. I guess they've been doing that with a bunch of releases for a while, and that's a cool concept to get people motivated to go to their favorite record store and pick the record up that way.
Absolutely. Guys, before we start the lightning round, I'd love it if you could just tell us a couple things. One, where can we buy the vinyl? Where can we get the music? Are there any shows coming up? What should we be looking forward to from Surefire Soul Ensemble? And I want to give you the opportunity to talk about All Town Sound too as well. And Jesse, if you have anything brewing in the works.
All right. Well, upcoming Surefire Soul Ensemble, you can get the record at your local record store. If they do not have it, have them order it from Secretly Distribution or Alliance. And it's going to be available in San Diego at the following locations: Vinyl Junkies, M Theory, Soul Shack, Lose Records, Folk Arts probably in a week, and Feel It in downtown.
Love that.
Well, I guess as far as shows, we're playing an album release show in San Diego. That will be May 7th at the Courtyard in downtown San Diego. An all ages event. You can bring your kids and still drink beer and wine. And they have food there.
Love that. Mark your calendars, folks.
San Diego is a great vacation destination. So even if you aren't here in San Diego, you can fly in and get an Airbnb and go to the Courtyard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is this, a tourism thing now? I'm sorry. I couldn't use it.
I forget what the rest. Oh, I guess I'll talk briefly about All Town Sound. That's a record label that I started with Mitchum Yakub
Yeah.
of the Mitchum Yakub band, and he also plays in a band called Boostive.
Yeah.
And We've got 3 records out so far. That was Mitchum's release was the first one. The second one was Bubaza, which features members of Surefire and Jungle Fire.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one was Mestizo Beat, which features members of Surefire and Jungle Fire, kind of, and
Monster.
Mestizo Beat.
That was the butterscotch variant, right? Was that
Butterscotch?
Okay.
Yes. Lots more things in the works, including a Surefire live record that was recorded in 2019 on Mother's Day at an outdoor venue in San Diego. So that will be coming. It's at the plant now, so who knows? Depending on things at the plant. I guess I'll mention our website is sfsemusic.com, and we are at Surefire Soul Ensemble, of course, on Instagram. Jesse?
I mean, you got all the Surefire stuff. As far as other stuff, I've been working a whole lot with Mestizo Beat and producing some tracks with them. So we're in the process of getting that stuff mixed and mastered by Sergio Rios, or mixed by Sergio Rios of Orgone. Some amazing stuff, and along the lines of that cinematic soul and funk vibe for sure. So
I can't wait.
Be ready for that.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Are y'all ready for the lightning round? This is going to be 10 quick questions, like yes, no style. It's meant to have fun. We want to learn more about you as people, less as musicians. Are y'all ready?
Yeah. Are you gonna throw them at us individually? Is that how it works?
Yeah. We'll do. I want both y'all to answer, so we'll just start with Tim first. How does that sound?
Sure.
Sounds
All right.
Sounds good.
LP or 45?
LP. Jesse?
Sorry. LP for me. LP.
Okay, you guys like the long play. I can get with that.
Mm-hmm.
OG Black or color variant?
OG Black.
Shoot. Both.
My man, I knew Tim was going to come through. I knew he was going to say color variant. I appreciate you, brother. Not a lot of people talk about the color variant, so it warms my heart. What's the last LP or 45 that you bought?
Oh, what was the last?
Shout out to Kenny Dope in the house. We see you, brother.
That's a hard one. It's like the pandemic kind of like diminished my music buying funds as well as having a child. So I'm trying to think what was the last LP I bought. I don't even know. Sorry, Vinyl World. I apologize.
That's okay.
Actually, I know for a fact that mine was, it's a while back now, but it was Jungle Fire's latest album, Atomico. For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I wanted to make sure, like, they're all homies, and I want to make sure I support them. So
I love that.
About that.
What's something that you listen to that would surprise us?
Hardcore punk.
Yacht Rock.
I love Yacht Rock.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll get with some Hall & Oates every once in a while.
Okay. Yeah. What do y'all like to do when you're not making music?
Hiking and gardening.
Tim, you're lying. I know you play Candyland sometimes. Come on now.
Is that? I mean, is that like a kid's game? Is that a board game? What is that?
You don't remember Candyland?
Oh, I thought I got confused with Candy Crush.
Oh no! Don't do that. Don't get in there.
Connect Four. I don't. Yeah, hiking, gardening, hanging out with my crew, which is my beautiful family.
I love that. What about you, Jesse?
One of my favorite pastimes is a good old-fashioned carne asada. I mean, I just love hanging with the fam on this weekend, hanging with friends, and having tacos, drinking beers. That's one of my favorite pastimes.
Very cool. All right. Name one musician who's had a big impact on you.
Robert Walter from Grey Boy All Stars.
Okay.
Carl Denson from Great Boy All Stars.
Very cool. Okay. All
It
right. All right.
it seems like we should probably go on tour with the Gray Boy All Stars. I'm just starting it here,
Let's
guys.
put
We're
it out
ready.
there right now.
Yeah.
You got to speak it into existence. The collaboration will come.
Yes.
All right. Favorite place to shop music?
I enjoy digging at the more obscure places because the reward is just monumental. But you know, I have friends that own record stores, so I like going to Beatbox in San Diego,
Okay.
Soul Shack, Vinyl Junkies, those places.
All right.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of Beatbox, and that's right on. That's down there in Barrio Logan, so you can get, you can go get your record, you can go get some bomb tacos, and go get some beers and hang out with homies. I mean, I love that whole area, so I love going down there for sure.
Hey, who makes the best mole in San Diego? Because that's my thing.
Ooh,
I'll have to defer to Jesse on that. I've only had it in a burrito, the house burrito at El Zarape, so I don't really know, and that's not too deep. So Jesse.
that you know what, El Sanape is pretty dope. Like if you want a good mole, you can go to El Sanape. I was gonna say my tia's house, but I mean, and you're more than welcome to come by and have some mole. But as
I'm gonna
far
take
as
you up
like
on that.
outside, hey,
I'm gonna take you up on that.
crazy.
All right, gents. We're down to the last two. If you had a superhero power, what would it be and why?
Oh damn. I think I would be. I mean, is being able to hold your breath underwater, would that be considered a superhero power? Because
Sure.
I'd like to do that for my surfing. You know, then I could get crazy in the ocean without dying.
That's a great superpower.
And I would love to be able to. I'd love to be able to fly through space, man. Like I'm a big nerd with all things space and black holes and galaxies and the Star Wars and Star Trek and all that stuff. I love all that stuff, man. So if I could do that, that would be my superpower.
Okay. All right. See, I usually tell people that I would just want to be able to scratch my own back. I don't want to fly. I don't want to go be able to go underwater. I just want the very basic things in life. Not much. All right. If you had a theme song, what would it be and why? And it could be this last year. It could be just an all-time favorite. Your choice.
Oh, what's that? What's that? That Billy Brooks song, 40 Days. Dun 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 dun. The one that Tribe Called Quest sampled for Lucka Lucian. It's like it's a sick funk cut. That's my theme song right there.
Okay.
Billy Brooks, 40 Days.
Man, this past summer, I don't know how it happened, but the song "Careless Whisper" by George Michael ended
Oh,
up
whoa.
being it ended up being like being associated with me. I was playing a gig, like a weekly gig where we played it every week. And so it was just like that was like literally my walking out music. Like it'd be like, oh, let's introduce a sax man doing this.
That's great. That's great. My theme song would be by Lucky Brown, Glancing Meteors. That's just been something that's carried me past the last couple years. He's on Wax Thematic, Tramp Records as well. Gentlemen, that concludes our fireside chat. We've done the show and tell. We've done the lightning round. I want to thank you all so much for being here with us, navigating through the drop that we had. That's only happened twice to me in 2 years, so I guess I should be thankful. But I think we got about a good 30, 40 minutes that we'll be able to document. Before we go, are there any words you want to say to our viewers watching?
I just want to say that none of this would be possible without the support from friends, family, the whole band. Just like major props to the band, past and present. Anyone that's been in Surefire or has subbed with Surefire. The people that buy the records, Coal Mine Records, Secretly Distribution. Anyone that's handling promo for the label or for us.
Mm-hmm.
The people that book our band to play, who take that financial risk to put us on stage, either here in San Diego or in other towns. I just want to thank everyone, because we're really looking forward to getting back out there. It's been it's been a long time since we've really gotten to express ourselves on stage musically, and I'm excited that we have the opportunity to do it. Obviously, thank you very much, Jesse. Thank you. It's been great rolling with you all these years. I love you, man, and that's all I got.
Very cool.
I just want to give the biggest thanks to anyone that's buying vinyl at all, going to live shows like that, straight up puts their money where their mouth is and says, I support live music, I support musicians. Keep on doing that, man, because we ain't out of the woods yet. And it's not just us, but it's all of our brothers and sisters that are making music out there and putting their heart and souls out there. It doesn't happen without the fans. So keep doing what y'all are doing.
Very cool. I appreciate y'all big time. Tomorrow's the big day. 4/1 official release date. Step Down, Coal Mine Records, Surefire Soul Ensemble. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. We're out. Take care, everybody.